Well, I will continue my journey, and I want to tell you about a rather interesting place.
В низовьях Сырдарьи в древности находилось...
In the lower reaches of the Sirdarya in ancient times, there were many cities that performed various functions. These were commercial, cultural, or craft centers of the region. A special place among these settlements is occupied Syganak, which became the main city of the Akota state, which later served as the basis for the establishment of the Kazakh Khanate.
Свою историю Syganak начинает с V века нашей эры.
The history of Syganak goes back to the 5th century AD. This is evidenced by the archaeological findings discovered here in the middle of the last century. The city was an important intersection point of the Silk Road caravan routes and was the craft center of the region. Among the many goods, the best bows and arrows were famous, brought by the steppe dwellers who bought grain, fabrics, and luxury goods here. The inhabitants of Syganak, besides farming, crafts, and trade, were engaged in hunting.
Средневековое городище Syganak, которое датируется X-XVIII веками, является одним из столиц казахского ханства. И этот город...
The medieval settlement of Syganak, which dates back to the 10th and 18th centuries, is one of the capitals of the Kazakh Khanate, and by itself the city is famous for the fact that at one time it was a huge metropolis, namely a trading center. Trade was one of the special and distinctive features of the city, which flourished thanks to the Great Silk Road merchants from all countries of the world, in particular Iran, Turkey, and China. Therefore, the most wondrous things were brought here, which had a huge demand in the city. Even in the records of the famous geographer Rusbihan, it says that in just one day in the city, 500 heads of camels were slaughtered, and the trade was very lively and active.
В записях известного географа Рузбихана, что в один день даже забивали 500 голов верблюдов. Вот. И шла торговля очень такая вот насыщенная, бурная.
During excavations, archaeologists found that the Shahristan square, enclosed by a partially preserved wall with 15 towers, was about 10 hectares. The territory of the suburbs, enclosed by an earthen rampart, is about 13. Throughout the space, researchers have found the remains of mosques, madrasas, mausoleums, and residential buildings. Water flowed into the city from a 20-kilometer channel coming from Sirdarya and from mountain rivers flowing down from the slopes of Karatau. But, like many successful cities of the medieval era, Syganak was often raided. In the 17th century, it was completely destroyed by the Dzungars.
Средневековое городище Syganak, оно является просто-напросто...
The medieval settlement of Syganak is one of the main pages in the history of not only the Kizloduy region, but the Kazakh people in general.
...но и в целом вообще казахского народа.